All right, I think we're live. Hey, everybody, welcome to the MFG cast on YouTube. We are at our Cthulhu campaign called Mask. This is our session two. Uh, if you missed session one, and then, if you didn't check out session zero, definitely check that out too, because there's a lot of information there. We had our characters kind of splitting off into different areas, doing some fun things. Let's hope. Grant was going to look into foraging the daisies painting. Ryan was going to look at getting the lay of the land of Neo Dixon's property and the surrounding area. And Ryan basically told Maxwell to contact the Gonzalo. Let's try the Gonzalez brothers. Whether or not Maxwell actually does that, we'll see. Um, yeah, who wants to start? I don't know where to go first, so if anybody wants to volunteer, otherwise I can just pick somebody's uh, name out of a hat and we can just kind of see where they go.
I
volunteer
think
Jesse. Oh,
yeah, I'll go. I was just gonna say I'll go first.
Let Jesse go then.
Nice. All right, Jesse. So you're going to check out Neo Dixon's place, just kind of see the ins and outs. So, like, what exactly would you? How would you do that?
So I would want to examine it from afar at first. If there's some kind of hill or higher ground that I can get from far away, then I'll do that. And I obviously I have my rifle, right? But I probably wouldn't use the rifle. I wouldn't bring the rifle, but probably like just the scope or something, right? Just so I can see from a good distance away. And yeah, I'd just basically find a secluded area, maybe in woods or in a field or something like that I can just kind of perch up for a while. And I want to observe the patterns of the guards, how many guards he usually has, any traffic that's coming or going, and just try to suss out any regular patterns throughout the day. If there's guard shifts, when does that guard shift occur? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so trying to think because again, we don't ever it feels like when we role play, we don't ever do rolls, but I'm almost thinking there should be some kind of roll to find the right kind of spot. I mean, really.
Tracking.
well, so it could be a roll on your side, Kurt, right? Like, is there an area of woods or a hill or something, right? Like you just behind the scenes, like yes, no, right? Simple binary kind of stuff. Um,
Yeah.
with his military background,
I also do have tactics as a skill.
yeah, right. So like it's almost like a gimme. Like you could do maybe like my thought would be like maybe a graduated role. So if he finds this, if there's a spot available, he posts up and he spends 8 hours with this little lunch pail and a sandwich just watching the compound. A graduated role to see how well he correlates the information that he's seeing, right?
Yeah.
Because like,
Yeah.
yeah, the guy walks by and like if he's marking it, is he marking it in a book? Is he marking the time then? Is he marking in the number of guards? Or is it like, oh, a guy walked by. Cool. All right, whatever. Oh, that looks like the same guy as before. Right? How well do you correlate the information? So the better the role, the more information to be gleaned. You're GM and I'm just like I'm because we had such an intense conversation about the game before the game, like mechanics wise. Like
Yeah.
that would be my thought off the top of my head, right?
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things you don't hide the you don't hide well, you don't hide clues behind rolls.
Yeah.
But like just an observational thing, like maybe that is a clue or maybe it isn't a clue. I mean, it's
Yeah.
information for sure. So like
Yeah.
how
And you,
readily available do you want the information to be?
yeah. And you do have graduated roles in the current edition of this. We're still, again, it's a play test. We're still tinkering and stuff like that. So yeah. Yeah. Why don't you use your skill, Jesse, and see if what you roll, and we'll use that number because again, there's a lot of different things we could find out, or things you could not
Right.
find out. Let's see.
Yeah. Two
All
ones.
right. So I'm assuming, so if this is kind of setting up and everything and finding the right spot and all the tactical aspect of the surveillance, then I'm guessing this would probably be a brains check, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And that is going to be 5 + 1, 6.
Oh wow. Okay.
So he beat a
right.
DL of 5. So
Yep.
however
So that
that
means
factors into a info list you may have on
yeah,
what's
yeah,
happening.
for sure. So if we were going by the so this is my question just because I don't know. So like when something goes like that, are we still using our yes and scale? Or we yeah, okay.
No, actually I think no, right? So you
No.
so he got a 6. So he's
Yep.
beaten a DL of 5.
Yep.
So it would be like the basic information, like, yep, the house is on a dead end street.
Yeah.
The I don't you almost kind of have to. I mean, you don't have to plan ahead of time, but you could just come up with some facts that would be relevant for him to have watched.
Yeah.
You notice that 2 o'clock the landscapers came, or a truck full of dudes, and then they're out on the patio drinking because the guy's not there at the time, right? Like it's increasingly better information from like the basic, right? Like because
Yep.
you could get it's on a dead end street from like doing a Google map or just like
Yeah.
driving by maybe, right? So it
Yeah, for
starts at the
sure.
bottom and kind of like works
Goes up.
its
Okay.
way up.
Yep,
Yeah,
sounds
right.
good. Okay. No, I like it. That's kind of what I was thinking, but I always like to double check and make sure what you're thinking, especially since you're the one that wrote the book. So, and gratiated scales are on a bunch of different role-playing games themselves. So, yeah, so Ryan pulls out one of these uh scopes that's like got the almost like the laser sighting, but also gives great distances, so you can
Hmm.
sit yourself on a, let's just say like you sit yourself on the top of a hotel. Actually, there's this nice big hotel that's quite a ways away. I'll just say like you slipped maybe a little something to the guy at the door or whatever, and he's like allows you access to the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's something where this isn't the first time you've done this. It's like you're able to find your way to get what you want when you want it.
Hmm.
And you're able to look at what's going on in this complex. And uh now I can't remember what time of day. Oh, we ended up making it the next day. Actually, I think is when everybody
Right,
was
yeah.
going to do this.
Mhm.
So, would you go out early in the morning and then stay all day? Would
Oh
you?
yeah,
What would
he
you?
definitely want to get there like early breakfast time,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
knowing well before, and like there's probably going to be any activity in the house because they probably
hmm,
partied the night before.
yeah,
But he
yep,
still wants to get out like just after sunrise so that he can scope out the entire day. Like he wants as much of this info as he can.
yeah, for sure. So, this I'll give you some of the things that are obvious and then maybe not so obvious. So,
Hmm.
um, it's kind of his place is kind of in town, but just on the outskirts of town to where he's not in the middle of everybody. And
Right, yeah.
not everybody's trying to get into his business, but also close enough to where if he needs to get somewhere and be his annoying self, he can do that. Um,
Yeah.
you can see the huge fence. It's about let's say it's about 15 feet tall. You can tell it's electrified. You can tell that there is also barbed wire at the top as well.
Gotcha.
Um, but he's not really hiding what's there. So like
Hmm.
you see the small Lovecraftian replica house. It's not any bigger. It's not any smaller. It's not that what that place is not very big, but
Okay, gotcha.
he has it to the specifics of that Lovecraft house. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but then what is weirdly, well, not weirdly, it's definitely out of place is that there's a sorry, my dog is going crazy because my son came home. There is a pool house that is to the right of the house, and then to the left of that is a huge gun range.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So like in the morning, it's like dead. Like you don't hear anything, you don't see anything. Um, there's really basically nothing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Going into about 11 o'clock, then
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden you see either um, girls in bikinis or naked just walking out of the pool house and just kind of wandering around, stumbling about. They walk into the Lovecraft house, they walk out, they go back to the pool house. Um, at one point, you see what you would assume to be one of the Gonzalez brothers kind of stumbling about as well.
Gotcha.
Yep, you can tell that whatever happened the night before, they had a good time because you can tell he's just kind of like doing, kind of like the walk. Like, has he like is he sober or has he yet to sober up yet?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just like, you see the unruly thing of like he like walks up to the house, he like is gonna go open the door, and then all of a sudden he scratches his ass, and then he walks in the door, kind of thing, that kind of thing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then as time goes by, you can kind of see with like inside one of the windows of the house. There's this huge like 52-inch TV, and as soon as the TV pops on, it's basically a uh, loop of Neo Dixon like talking on talk shows, talking on his podcast, talking on his YouTube channel. Like it's constantly just a cycle of whatever he's doing at the time. It's running through this TV.
Wow.
Um, and then every once in a while you'll see like somebody walk by, and most of the time it'll either be one of those aforementioned ladies. You'll see another person that looks similar to the other Gonzalez brother, and you would just assume that that's his brother.
Gotcha.
But at no time do you see Neo at all.
And we know that he's away, right? Or Coy told us that he was going to be out of town for 2 weeks or something like that, right?
Yep, yep. Because he's on his
Nazi
tour
trip.
basically. Yep, exactly. Going to talk to all of his uh, being able to mind control all of the drones or whatever and stuff like that. So you don't see him. And
Gotcha.
then as it gets a little bit later, even you you hear loud music coming from inside the house,
Okay.
and then through one of the other windows you see a young white male about 17
Hmm.
walking into a bathroom, and he shuts the door, and then for about an hour he is in there.
Hmm.
And then the after about an hour the door opens. He kind of walks out, kind of rubs his face, and then is out of sight.
Hmm.
And I think we know he has a kid too. I'm
Yeah.
assuming that's the kid.
Hmm.
I mean, just in case you don't remember, we're aware that he's got
Yeah.
a kid. Yeah.
Yep, yep, yep. Um, and then like even like an hour after that, then all of a sudden you see a big group of people. So you see a bunch of those ladies in bikinis. You see both Gonzalez brothers, but then you
Mhm.
also see three other people that you haven't seen that come out of the Lovecraft house.
Hmm.
Um, and they are dressed to the nines in suits, and they've got drinks in their hands. They've also got some kind of bag in their other hands,
Hmm.
and they're going to the gun range. And they're just going, just popping off on bottles, popping off on clay pigeons, and then just randomly shooting in the air, or luckily not at like the house or like the pool house or anything like that,
Yeah.
but at the actual range itself where it's like
Right. Yeah.
safe. But you can tell it's like it's they're very much not giving a shit about their surroundings. They're just having a
Right.
good time.
So a couple of questions. One, it seems like there's potential minimal security here. They're more so going off of the fact that the surrounding area is well protected, right? Because you said they have the fence with the barbed wire and everything like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do I see anybody like does anybody actually come and go from the compound during the day, or does it all just seem like everyone's there?
Well, it as you're kind of watching everything happen, once the little get together happens with the three men that are dressed in the in the nicely
Mm-hmm.
well mannered suits or whatever. Um, once this little thing is over, they go to the pool house and kind of
Mm-hmm.
disappear for the night. And you
Gotcha.
don't
Okay.
see anybody else coming in and out at all. You don't see any
Mm.
other guards. You don't see any other people coming in or coming out for, even to, deliver anything or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you see within your time there.
Right on. All right. So yeah, basically what he's gathering from this day um is that there doesn't seem to be any structure or anything like that throughout the day. Getting inside, like once we're inside, it should be pretty easy to hide in the chaos of the everyday, right? Like I said, minimal guards, nobody paying attention, everybody just kind of partying and fucking off, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell, even the fact that like randomly people can just go to a gun range and start shooting, like, can help with sounds that might happen. Right? Um, but yeah, the one thing he's really picking up on is once we're inside, it'll be easier, but it's not going to be easy to get inside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because when you're watching this whole thing, you're like, I mean, it's obvious from the questions you're asking me and stuff like that. It's like you're thinking, okay, this is a well-known, famous douchebag. He's got probably a lot of wealth, obviously, because he's got this, this lavish place where he lives and all this accoutrement or whatever.
Mhm.
And yet there's not enough security, not enough, people watching out for anything that could happen, that
Right,
kind
yeah.
of thing. So yeah,
I
so
mean, he could also just be a cocky bastard, right? Be like,
mhm.
I'm important enough and big enough. Who's gonna fuck with me? Like, I don't need
Mhm.
all this extra security because you'd be fucking stupid to pick a fight with me.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
you get shot in the neck.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Ego plays a big part in people like that for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's how I'm gonna spend my day.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Uh I think we'll head over to what are you going to be doing?
I have no idea. But as I was thinking about it after we played last time, I think like his
Yeah.
first thought would be to like not do what Ryan did, but like pull up a Google map of the address and just like
Yeah.
get a layout of like what are we looking at? Like he's no tactic expert, but like,
Mhm.
is it surrounded by woods? Is it like in a neighborhood? Is it, like that sort of stuff? Just super, super general. Um, and then perhaps look up, and I don't want to step on Kevin's toes because I can't remember what he said he wanted to do. And because I know we have some information, but look up information on the teacher, the painting, because we have this, potentially weird information that like sort of draws you in a whatever. Look up like, is there any, tangential information of like occult weird stuff, none of which I have skills for any of this kind of thing. It's just one, but right, you establish like a baseline of what it is that, like, what are we looking at getting into? What is the information about the guy, about the painting? Um, look up to see like what does the market look like for that? Is there any active? Well, we have a buyer, I guess. I guess that doesn't really matter. Um, yeah, that's kind of where my head was at. Like, I don't think he would call the compound to be like, "Hey, you're looking to sell a painting," because it's really weird
Mhm.
when it goes missing. Um, and he's got eyes on the property, which is super useful. And we know he's out of town, so it doesn't like again, it doesn't make sense to call and be like, "Hey, I want to talk to Neo." He's not here.
Yeah.
Click, right? Like, so I guess like a research day for me, I guess. This kind of what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
for sure. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, why don't you so you wanted okay, so let's stick with you want to do more research on the artist and the painting itself. I think we could probably go with that because I feel
Okay.
like that's a good place to start.
Okay. So it's just going to be a straight brains roll for me because we didn't want to overlap a lot of skills, and Kevin's got like art history and shit. So even though I sell art, I'm kind of a slimy sort of whatever. He just sells art for money. Not that he's not interested, but like his background is not. His background is in the financial. Can I sell this? Is it worth
Yeah.
something? So,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
all right. Yeah. So my highest is my highest is a 5. I don't know what my DL is, but
Okay. Yep. So we're just gonna make it a straight 4. So
okay.
5 is good.
So that's
Yep. So
just a yes, I
just a
think, right?
yes. Yep. Okay. Yeah, for sure. So you look up information on the artist. Hold, please. Let's see.
Damn it, I was muted. You beat me to it.
Oh, I have so many notes that I've got them in 18 different places. So let's see.
That's the problem I had with this fucking game, and I had to compile everything into one file.
That's what I should have done, but Being a good GM is not my forte, apparently.
Me neither.
Okay. Okay, where did I have it? Boy, sorry everyone. This is going to take a second.
Hey, you got to edit it, man.
I do. I feel bad for people that want to watch this. Okay. So the painter is named Thomas Schneider. He is he was the uh painting teacher of Hitler's back when Hitler was a teenager. Um when you do a little bit more research, you're not getting a ton of stuff, but you do know that Schneider actually does have a occult background. So he did do a lot of research himself on the occult. You know that he actually did some rituals. Nothing you can really find that's concrete. It's just kind of hearsay kind of thing.
Right.
Just because again, this is just kind of stuff that's from a long time ago. So, unless it's something that's, in the foreground, something that's super duper like popular, then it's not going to be out there.
Right. And the Nazis were into the occult. So if he was still alive when they came into power, like he could be wrapped up in that general aspect of like Nazis did occult stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Um, um, you realize that not only did he teach Hitler how to paint, but he also did a lot of painting himself. He also sold a lot of stuff, and I think he actually took the rise of Hitler himself to be able to make money off of that. Unfortunately, um, and this painting is the only, as far as you can tell, is the only thing in existence that exists of his.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a rumor in there that says that that Hitler actually had a part in helping make this painting.
Okay.
Um, uh, let's say you go and you get into a little loophole on like Reddit, and you get all these people like typing like, oh, I heard this, and I heard that this happened, and I heard whatever, and you see this constant rumor that whoever stares into there's like inside the daisies themselves, the black metal, which I don't know the actual like uh the term for that or whatever, is a bunch of swirls, and people have lost their minds and just kind of gone into a madness, seeing certain dark things within that, and it even like makes the rumor, that rumor kind of spins upon like, oh, that's what made Hitler do the things he did, because he was a good person until this happened. Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
it's just it's this constant rumor that happens within the Reddit of that whole thing or whatever.
You could have done this
And then
role
if you
before
go ahead.
Grant looked at the picture and saw that. Grant can confirm.
Hey guys, guess what I found out? Oh, Jesus Christ.
And if you're gonna forge it, do everything, but when you do the middle, don't ever look at it. Just what
go ahead.
else?
I was gonna say, is there
No, go ahead.
anything like, does it say like, well, I heard if you, put a piece of polarized glass over it. It negates the like, something like weirdly specific. Like I'm assuming not, but right. Um, just and any sort of like, well, I heard there was this guy, but like he didn't. I mean, I guess it was just a yes. It wasn't a yes and. Yeah, I'm fishing a little bit.
Yeah. So like I would say yeah, like you hear these weird rumors, but like there's not one that like stands out to you. You're just like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
these are so far-fetched, or whatever, that kind of thing. But also
right.
you also um you also saw what happened to Grant too. So you're like, okay, there might be something to this. Who knows?
Okay. All right. I specifically like, when I pull up a page and like it shows a picture of the guy and it shows a picture of the painting, I just like immediately like scroll past that or like, do one of these over the picture
Yeah,
based on what happened with Grant, right? Like I don't zoom in, right? Like I don't try to get like a super
yeah,
good look at it.
yeah, for sure. And I will say, like, again, this doesn't warrant a roll or whatever, but like, eh, you know, every time obviously when you pull up the daisies thing, like again, you just scroll past that because you already know that. You're like, nope, nope, don't want to see it. I don't care about that right now. But when you see Schneider or whatever, you still go past him, but you also like, you know what? I'm gonna have you roll again. I'm gonna have
Okay.
you
Yeah.
write. I'm gonna have you roll a psyche roll. It's not gonna
Nice.
affect you negative. I'm gonna not have it affect you negatively though. So I'm gonna say
Okay.
that just up front.
Okay.
No, I know that's not a thing I should be doing, but you know what? I'm the GM. I'm gonna fucking do it.
What's my deal?
We're gonna have the DLB. Let's see. Actually, let's let it be a 4 again. I like the
Okay.
difficult. I think that's difficult rating. I think.
I got a 3, 4, 5. I got a small straight. So I beat the DL of 4 by 1. So just a
Okay, so you got
regular
a
yes.
yes.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So anytime you see a picture of Schneider, that's how I say it, Schneider. Okay. So every time you see a picture of Schneider, it looks wrong. It looks like it looks like a picture of a person, but also there is something either embedded in it or behind it or in front of it, and it's blurry and it's dark.
Hmm. Um. So I think yeah, it's like one of those things kind of like scratches the eye then when you're doing it because you're like, all right, I don't want to look at that. So like, what is this fucking crazy guy? And you're like, oh, that's fucking weird. Like old photo, right? Whatever. And then there's another one, but it's a
Hmm.
different photo and it's got the same. It's like, what the fuck? So then I think he like starts like leaning in and like fucking saving JPEGs and like blowing them up to
Yeah.
like look to see, like if I could see what it is. Like he doesn't have like he doesn't have any sort of like photography skills or like Adobe skills or whatever. So he's just like, I don't know, it's fucking weird. Like there's something in every one of these pictures. Like that's definitely not normal, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So is it something that you're gonna like print out a photo or save it for later to show everybody, or what are you gonna do with that information?
Yeah, I definitely, like I said, I downloaded a couple of them. I might probably email them to myself, right? Because I could email it to Grant. Like I probably have his. Well, actually, I guess I get Ryan's info too. Um, yeah, so maybe I just download it and then I'll send them an email or a text and be like, "Hey, super weird, right? Like every single picture has this weird like fucking blur in it. I don't know what this is about. Like I don't know anything about, like Photoshop or whatever." So, but it's like all these pictures, and they're like some of them are like formal pictures where he's just like, sitting, in the stool, like all done up with the suit and the mustache or whatever. So like
Yeah.
it shouldn't be there like it's a professional picture, right? Like it doesn't look like a
Hmm.
water spot or anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's a good transition to what Grant is doing. So Grant, you said that you wanted to maybe grab some stuff to start forging this painting. So like, are you going to do any prep beforehand, or are you just going to go and just try to find what you, because obviously you know what you're doing, but I
Yeah.
want to know what the process is.
So I think what he would do is, so we said he doesn't have like his workshop at his workshop, right? So he's going to go home. And I guess he would live a little bit like in the exurbs, right? So it's suburban, but it's a bit rural. It's a bit further out. So like on his properties, there's just like this old little barn from the, it looks like it from the outside, right? It just looks like a barn, but the inside kind of looks like an Apple store, right? So that's his work area. You know, you go in, everything's super bright and everything lit up and white and stark because it's kind of a workshop, and he's got, you know, easels and paint and like racks and racks of art history books and things like that. But I think what he would focus on, you know, Ryan's focusing on the actual site. Max is focusing on kind of the little history around it. But I think Grant would focus on, okay, well, what kind of canvas is it? What kind of paints did he use? Is it oil paints, or, you know, he'll look like the nitty gritty of, I've got to reproduce this. I'm sure he has tons of supplies already, right? I don't think he's going to go stock up unless there's anything he's got to get out of the ordinary. So I think he would actually do research on the painting, like the painting itself, not who made it or the provenance. And it's actually, okay, what kind of pigments did we use? What kind of colors? You know, was it brush strokes, or, you know, I'm trying to think of the other, you know, paint. You know, you do the painting without the brush.
Mm.
So he would focus like on the mechanical part of that. Um, and I don't know, you know, because I think we did when we finished out last time. He did get a bit squirrely when he looked at the painting. So he's going to be extra careful not looking at the center of it. Right? He's not going to focus on the black part. That'll be that'll be something to focus on later. He'll just look at, yeah, what kind of colors are we using? What kind of paints? What kind of style is it? And, you know, the canvas, and we said like frame and stuff like that. So he'll like research the actual physical painting itself.
Okay, perfect. But so before you do that, you're kind of walking into your office and you're about to prepare for that. You hear a little ding on your phone, and that is the text from Maxwell. Do you look at it?
Yeah, I think I would, right? Because, you know, we just left and I'm not in the middle of doing anything, and it's just normal. Like if you're walking around and your phone goes off, you're gonna take a look at it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so he tells you he tells you the things about like, okay, so I found all these photos of Schneider, and this is kind of weird or whatever, take a look, and there's a link. Do you click on it?
The stuff for Schneider, yeah. If if he's not sending me stuff about the painting, if it's about the guy, then yeah, I'll click on the link.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna also have you roll a psyche check for this then.
Okay. Should have put more stuff into Psyche.
And I'm gonna make the DL a little higher because you already had a little incident with the painting itself. So I'm gonna make this a 5.
5. 5
Okay.
and a 1 and a 2. Oh no, a 5 and a 1. I'm sorry, I only got 2 dice. So we'll get rid of that last one. A 5 and a 1.
Okay.
You're talking, but there's nothing coming out, John.
It's a no but.
No but. Okay.
Right. Miss by one is no but.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm going to say that um
Well, he said it was a 5, right?
you
And I rolled a 5. Is
are
that?
You have to beat the DL
Oh, that's a no, but
for
okay,
a
gotcha,
core.
gotcha.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, gotcha.
yep. 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 So what happens is that you are affected by what is behind Schneider. and I'm just saying behind just because you see that everything is off. You see him in one picture where he's like standing with his wife. You see like a blur that's like in between both of them. You see a picture of him holding the actual Daisy's picture, but like the Daisy's painting is like off center, so you're not able to focus on that. Fortunately for you, but unfortunately, there in front of him is this like black blob that almost kind of hides him a little bit. And you see um this figure kind of like crystallize in your mind, and it looks like this almost like this demon that almost has like this weird deer carcass head with two horns on the top of its head. But
Fine,
it
everything's
doesn't yeah, but it doesn't unsettle you as much as you thought it would. And you think to yourself, maybe it's because of what happened with you freaking out with the Daisies painting. Maybe it just kind of tricked your head into being like, okay, obviously there's some weird shit going on right now, but I'm not going to let it affect me this time. But
Okay.
it is kind of unsettling you just a titch.
Um, so I'll be looking at it and trying to piece the foreground and background of the blurriness versus the very the descriptive thing that's kind of jumping out in the foreground is compared to the background. Um, but from past experience when looking at daisies, he's not going to focus too hard. He's just gonna kind of skirt his eyes across as much as he can. Um, and I'll reply back to, I don't know if Max sent this to everybody. I'm guessing you sent it to both of us, right?
Yeah,
So
you'd see it. Yeah,
yeah, but I mean to me and Ryan. So I was going to do a reply all and just say,
yeah.
you know, yeah, that's kind of fucked up. Try not to focus too much on the pictures when you're looking at them. Um, Something weird is there, and we'll talk about it. We'll chat about it when we get back together. Just kind of get a heads up. Like, yeah, don't. Ryan has his stuff to focus on. Maxwell has his stuff to focus on. Don't be looking at this weird guy, and don't be looking at the painting too much. Let me worry about that, and you guys do the other stuff. But yeah, but don't be doom scrolling through a whole bunch of Schneider stuff, the Schneiderverse.
I text back too late, and I give you like the shrug emoji.
And I reply back, tell me about it. So yeah,
Meanwhile,
so
Ryan has like an old school burner phone.
it's
So
Axie art.
so yeah, so Max has sent like all these attached images, but it's just showing up as like image not available, image not available, image not available on his
Just
phone.
shrug.
The shrug, he doesn't even see the GIF that he put, so
It's got a
he literally
jitterbug.
just reads all of them, size and gay.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna research too much into him itself, right? I may just do a quick, Google search, who painted Daisy, like a cursory thing, because I'm assuming Maxwell's going to do the deeper dive, just to get a feeling for, okay, when did this guy live? Because then there is that technologically what would have been available for making the painting, where is he from, that kind of stuff. Obviously, we kind of know the milieu he's in, but just to get an understanding of if he trained under a certain school of painting, is he an impressionist or is he modernist, that kind of thing, just to get an understanding of the painting itself. But I won't focus too much on Schneider, especially especially after looking at the picture. Um, and obviously I'll see back some of the same details about this being the only extant painting by this person. I've already looked at the painting and it kind of wigged me out a bit. But yeah, I'll see, I'll see if I can get some details of it. When I do look around and zoom in, like we said before, I'll zoom in, make sure I'm not going into the center of of the each of the flowers, but I'll look around the edges, like look at the frame and see if I can get a look at the canvas around the edges and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. So you do your research on it. Um, you know what? I'm not gonna have you roll for this one. I think I'm just gonna give it to you because you've done this enough to where you would know, you'd be able to find certain aspects of certain paintings and be able to, suss out what you need and stuff like that. So like,
Yeah.
you come to find out that this is an oil painting, that uses certain colors. I'll tell you those colors in a second.
Okay.
It also has an ash wood frame to it.
Okay.
And then yeah, so then the painting itself or whatever, it basically is it's two ridiculously huge daisies in the middle of this scene of basically it's not very much. It's very simplistic. There's uh some very lifeless trees in the background. There is a almost a blood moon sun also in the background. And then the grass that is growing these trees and these daisies is actually very brown and very out of place. So for, daisies being these wonderfully beautiful flowers and these trees, trees being these, trying to be these things that give life in the world and stuff like that. It gives us the oxygen that we need to live and stuff like that. It's a very haunting painting.
Yeah. So it's a
Uh,
bunch of stuff alive with a bunch of growing out of a bunch of dead stuff kind of thing. It's that
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
dichotomy.
yeah,
Okay, I got that.
exactly.
Yeah.
So the colors that you're going to need for this one are you're going to need like a goldenrod yellow, obsidian black, tawny brown, a corn silk white, and a seaweed green. Um, and then I
Green,
missed,
obsidian black, tawny
and then I did all the colors, but I didn't do the red sun. So we'll just say like a blood moon red.
Yeah, I was gonna say that makes sense. So goldenrod yellow, obsidian black, tawny brown, seaweed green, and blood moon red, right?
And corn silk white.
That was the other one. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
cool. And just thinking, right? As you said, I don't have scrapings of the painting, or anything. So it is just that cursory look of, I'm not analyzing it. But I would think, as you said, I've done this before, so this kind of makes sense. Yeah, I have a good idea of what color palettes are and how to get that. I'm guessing there's going to be a lot more rolls when I actually try to reproduce it, right? Looking at the picture saying, yeah, that's a kind of dead brown and that's a bloody looking red, but it is actually the more rolls I'm going to have to do is actually when I'm slapping stuff on a canvas.
Yeah. So I have a question for you then because this actually takes place nowadays.
Yeah.
Is it something where are you doing it very God, I'm trying to think of the word very natural where you're just trying to do it from what you see on the computer? Or are you going to be using technology to help you out? Are you going to first do it on a computer, try to do it out that way, and then try to reproduce it on a canvas?
I was, if you put it, having that as an opportunity, right? It's like if we were nicking a statue, right? We could 3D print it, that kind of thing, because we're in that time. But I think the fact that, that, that Grant was a plumber and his dad was a fisherman, I'm,
Hmm.
I'm thinking he's going to go old school with, he'll do the research. He'll do, he'll use his Google foo. I mean, he did go to a pretty good art school. So, he'll use that knowledge, but he's not going to, like use a CAD program to, map stuff out and do it that way. I think it would just be, he would use his training and his knowledge and his education more. Yeah, he's going to grunt his way through it, right? He's not going to, He's not going to plug it into a program and have it spit out kind of thing. I think he would go more that old school route just because of who he is and where he came from and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
that's what he knows. So that makes,
Yeah.
I was thinking, well, maybe we would do half and half, right? He would do some technical stuff and, as a test run, but I think it's more, yeah, he just gets to paint. He gets an easel, he gets his palette set up and he goes for it. And if he goes through a bunch of canvases, I mean, that's just what you do, right? So you get it right.
Yeah. 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 And it makes sense for the time period too. So like this is a very, very old painting. So it makes more sense to go old school than be like, okay, well, maybe I can, see what I can reproduce on this computer program and then make it come to life here. But yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
you're
it's not very
right with
clean, right?
like going old
It's not
school.
like modern art where it's all straight lines, or it's not like Andy Warhol where I've got some Campbell's, soup cans and I've screen printed them. It is pretty basic, right? It's painting, it's brush strokes on a canvas kind of thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And they'd need to
Uh,
see
um,
that, right? Like they'd want to see those breasts. Like you couldn't like print it or like whatever, right? Like you
yeah.
there has to be paint on canvas.
Well, and that's the weird thing because if you do look at, famous paintings, you see them hanging or whatever, but when they do zoom in, you do see like if there's a curve on a leaf, you see the how thick certain areas are on that because you are slapping paint on something. So it isn't just like it's a printout and everything's flat. There is like a 3D dimension to to be honest, that's probably the hardest part is recreating all those bumps and swirls. Not the bad swirls, but like just the generic swirls on a painting. That probably is. And then matching up, the colors and so I think yeah, that would be. He would be yeah, he'd go at it old school. He's strapping in for making sure he's got enough canvases that match what this would be because he's assuming he's going to go through a few to make sure he gets it right.
Get the colors right,
Yeah,
that kind of
texture and
stuff.
things like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Right now the old paintings are usually like thicker, like
Yeah,
heavier ink
exactly.
kind of stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you see that it like jumps off the canvas. There's like, it's
mhm.
just not like on a piece of paper and it is that, that topographical almost. It looks like a topographical map of,
Hmm.
the paint on the canvas.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't do wet back then. Or wet on wet, I guess it's called. Well, I guess we're gonna lose you when you have to really like stare at those daisies to paint because
Right.
you're gonna have to paint the center of the flower at some point.
Well, that's what I said because I think that was kind of one of the last things we did last session. So that I think Kurt and I will have to figure out a way how this is gonna manifest, right? Because I'm assuming it's going to. So we just got to figure out a way. We'll come up with a cool way that works with the story and works with the character. I'm sure.
Yeah.
He's walking
Because
around with
like
like tissue boxes on his feet, like Howard Hughes.
right, because like physically you can, assuming you make the roll, right? Like you can mimic the swirl. Like you can
Yeah,
paint the swirl, but if you haven't done the ritual, it's
yeah.
not gonna do anything, right? But you have to key in on the forms and stuff to make sure that it at least looks the way that it's supposed to.
I'm sure we'll cross that bridge when we
Yeah.
come to it.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to Maxwell. So Maxwell, you hear a little bing, and you get the text from Grant that basically is just like shit's fucked up. Just be careful when you're looking at it. Don't look at it too closely or whatever that kind of thing. But you already kind of know what's kind of happening with
Got
it
a
or
vibe
whatever.
already. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Um, so you actually, as you're looking at that text back from Grant, you get a phone call. It is from Coy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I imagine he's probably at the gallery, right? Like he's just in his office, like doing shit.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he picks it
yeah,
up. I don't know what the name of the gallery is. So he's like, Maxwell Banks, such and such gallery.
yeah, yeah. And he's just you hear Coy's voice, and he's like Maxwell.
Hey, man, what's going on? And I'm like thinking in the back of my mind, like, did I give him his fucking number?
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
this
And
whole
you've got
iPad thing, like what?
yeah, exactly. Most of the time you're calling him on it like burner phones and stuff like that. So like, yeah, like he knows exactly where you're at all times, and uh, I got a phone call for you. I'm patching you in to Gio Gonzalez.
Ooh, from the place you're talking about?
And then before you even can like get that out, you hear a little bit of a ringing or whatever. And then you hear somebody pick up. He's got a very thick Mexican accent. I will not replicate that because I don't want to offend anyone. I'm just going to talk in my own voice. So it rings, and then all of a sudden a person picks up and he says, hold please.
It's really
He
weird. They
says,
call me and then say, oh, like, all right, whatever, I guess.
he says, who are you? And he says, who are you and how do you want to party?
Um, I'm I'm sure Maxwell has any number of aliases that he can pull up at the moment. I don't. I don't know. He gives him
Peter
like, hey,
Cabaldi.
yeah, I'm a Billy Billy not a Nazi last name. Like I was trying to think of something that might like fit in, but like I also don't want to use like a yeah, like Billy something, right? Yeah, man, it's Billy. What's up?
You
We
called
got a
me.
friend of a friend.
Yeah, I heard you want to party. How do you want to party?
What are you guys up to? I mean, I'm up for whatever.
Is this a joke?
You're so good
Like,
at this.
what the fuck? Like, you called me. What the fuck do you want to do?
Fuck, what would Max be up to in his youth? I don't think I mean, he probably doesn't do any hard drugs. Um,
You there,
You say
but
William?
something like we want to have a good night. We want it to last long, but we don't want it to get too crazy. That something like that, right?
I
A
could just
long fun night.
imagine Maxwell is thinking like, "Oh shit, what drugs do kids do these days?"
he's not that old. He's only in his 30s. I'm old.
Uh,
I don't do drugs and shit. So I don't fucking yeah. Kind of like what Grant said. Like, yeah, man, my buddy said you guys got to hook up. Like, we want to fucking party all night. Fucking get ripped up. You got some girls. Like, what's up?
Speak his
Yeah,
language.
yeah. He says, I've got the girls. I've got the guns. You need to provide me with what you need to. What would he say? You need to provide me with the candy. The name of the candy is what he would say.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Careful, this sounds like entrapment.
Are you a cop? You got to tell me if you're a cop.
Yeah, you gotta tell me if you're a cop.
Yeah, man, like some fucking, get some fucking snowflake, man, like fucking snort that shit up.
And like you hear him like turn the phone away from himself and just laugh like out loud, like really just like he's like obviously knows you don't have any clue what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says, let's just say that today is a Monday. And uh he says 2 grand, uh up to 4 people, Thursday, 7 p.m.
Hell yeah. 4 grand for the four of us? Or 2 grand, whatever it was, 2 grand.
Did I stutter?
Yeah, man, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, no worries.
Okay. I have another question for you.
Yeah, shoot.
Do you like your fingers?
Yeah, I use them. I use them all the time.
Okay. Don't tell anybody else about what's going to be going on. Otherwise, you're going to miss a lot of them. And then you hear him hang up.
Okay. He looks at the phone for a minute, like shakes his head, like, man, it's been too long since I've done some shit like this. Makes a note, I wouldn't text that information. I just wait till we get together. Kind of like, fuck, idiot. Pours himself a glass of wine, straightens up his tie.
Nice.
Too
All
old for
right.
this shit.
I think we'll call it there for tonight.
Shit.
So you already have it. You already have a way in. You have a decent amount of information. You're just gonna have to get on Grant's ass to be able to get a painting done in what, 3 days, 4 days?
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we'll
so
see
yeah,
what.
Grant has some, fancy cappuccino machines and old school drip, Folgers, or Mr. Coffee machines. So he's assuming he's gonna be pulling some all-nighters. So he's getting ready.
There you go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm
All
not
right.
cool enough to be a criminal.
Well, and the funny thing is it's kind of awesome because you're kind of like you're going through the motions. So like I feel like it's okay to have a character that maybe is just going through the motions and trying to do his best. So eventually you may end up being a good criminal. Just right now, it's just
Yeah.
yeah,
We'll get there.
we will. Again, this is only the second session. We got a long way to go. Well, at least until Grant goes crazy, and then who knows from
Exactly. And then you got to find a new art forger. I'll have
there.
some standby art forger characters. I'll
Yeah.
roll up.
That's right.
His brother Brant.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you to everyone for watching. Thank you for our players for playing. John, Legends of Tabletop, what's all going on your podcast?
Well, I don't know when this is going to release, but as of May, we have absolutely nothing going on. We're hoping to get back on track in June. We have a Deadlands game that we're going to be getting back up on the horse. Potentially some Call of Cthulhu. We have a pirate board game that we're getting ready to kind of try to finish up. And we have a long-term runners game, which is a game that Jesse designed, and we've been playing, like just fully playing at this point. I've been working on Cthulhu, which this is super helpful for me to get that work done. We had a short session today because we had a big conversation beforehand because I was completely stuck on some stuff. So yeah, that's about it. We've got t-shirts and shit like that for sale. So like if you want to support the show, you can check us out over at legendsoftabletop.com. We're on all the podcast platforms and shit. We're on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, these guys all play on the channel. So like, if you're into this, then like, come and check us out.
Yeah, exactly. You want to deal with this more? Go on the other podcast channel.
Hate this? Go check it out anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Go give it a thumbs up. Quit being lazy.
Hey, you know what? If you hate this, then go over to Legends of Tabletop and hate that too. Leave comments telling us how much you hate it.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of people that hate watch a lot of stuff, so it just is what it is.
Yep. Make sure you click the
Alien Earth.
notification button so that you know when a new episode releases, so you can thumbs down it and leave hateful comments.
We'll get
So
that engagement meter going.
Yeah, no kidding. Exactly. So Jesse, we're still working on the runners game. Anything else you're working on? Any other recommendations? Anything like that?
That's all I'm doing. I wish I had recommendations, but my life has been filled with sick dogs recently. So that's all I've been doing for a couple of weeks, unfortunately.
Well, You
Yeah.
told me you played Root the other day. That's a good
I
recommendation.
did, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We're still in it. We're about halfway through the game. We could
Nice.
we play a couple of rounds at a time.
Nice. That's
But
awesome.
yeah, we're still chugging through, and now I already want to go get all the expansions
Yep. There are
because they were
ton
very
of them.
smart in the rule book. They include the rules for all the expansions as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep,
they're like,
exactly.
oh hey, by the way, there's a bunch of other things that you can eventually do. And I'm like, you motherfuckers.
That's the
Yeah.
way to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and the art is so cute and stuff like that too.
It
Everything
is.
is awesome.
Yep.
That's how
And
they get
being
you.
a role player, we're always we're like telling stories while we're doing it.
Nice. That's
Because it's
awesome.
such like a heavy baked in story to the game anyway. So
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Why wouldn't you? I'm pretty sure there are actual like books out there for that game too, or something like that.
There's an
Or short
RPG for
stories
it.
or something.
yeah,
I
they
think.
just
Oh, is
they
there? Yeah.
yeah, they kickstarted an RPG for it. I don't know if it's released yet, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure How We Roll did a playthrough, right? Like six
Oh, nice.
sessions or something like that. They
Nice.
they told a
Yeah.
little story. Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool. What about you, Kevin? Any recommendations?
Well, since we're talking about board games, and I'm going on holiday, or I'm going on vacation, sorry, going on holiday, as they say over here.
You're British, it's fine.
We'll see. I'll see if I can fit the Carcassonne box in, and maybe I'll play that when I'm on vacation a bit. So I haven't played that for a
Oh,
while.
there you go.
It's one of my
Yeah.
favorites.
That's
An
awesome.
old reliable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We got to
for
get
sure.
you on a BGA then. We got Carcassonne on there, right? Yeah. I played a
would
bunch
think
of
so, yeah,
Carcassonne on BGA.
for
I'll be
sure.
down for that, definitely.
Yep. Easy way to play with other people across the pond. That's my terrible
Mhm.
English accent.
Jesse and I are gonna start playing Concordia if he accepts my invite soon.
Yeah. I've been a little busy here.
Yeah. All right. As far as the MFG cast goes, we've got our role playing games that are currently on there. We've got our Sins of the Father, which is our core noir campaign with me and John. John playing George, the PI, and that one is coming. I think this is our last season that we're going through, but it's been a great ride from there. Also, I have a D&D campaign, Time After Time. Also, if you're looking for some board game goodness, we just did a couple of episodes for Finspan and Champions of Midgard. So if you are interested in those games, or if you want to take a look back into old school game like Champions of Midgard, why don't you take a look there? Because we've actually talked about that probably when it came out eons ago, and now we're talking about it again with a different group. So, and then again, if you're looking for more goodness here, we'll be streaming hopefully once a month here and be able to continue the story, which I'm excited about. And like I said last time, if you're excited about what Cthulhu has, John already has a version of that up on Drive Through RPG, so check that out. And then when the new one comes up, just look for that as well. And then, yeah, as far as everything else goes, we'll see you next time.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.